is up, you beautiful gamers, and welcome back to RPJames, my little own corner where we like to talk about video games. Pretty much focus on RPGs, action adventure games, open worlds and stuff of the like. And you know, following a gaming event can be quite problematic to some people because there's many of us that work, there's many people that has to go to school. Right now an online school, I guess, but nevertheless, it can be quite hard to follow all of the gaming news throughout these kind of events, of gaming events, and more so when it takes place during several kind of days. It's not like we do get like the games events like the Xbox and PlayStation showcase where you can just get comfy in your bed or in your computer or your cell phone and just watch the thing that normally lasts for like an hour. That's not the case for Tokyo Game Show. So in today's video we're gonna be breaking down the most interesting and promising gaming announcements and titles with gameplay footage and background, and just have a nice time with merry old James. So if you're interested in that, get comfy because we're about to begin. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like the content. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's get into the matter. And in first place we have to talk about Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And you see there's many people that are quite splitted as far as like the Warriors games titles goes to. I personally do love to take my weapons and be throughout the field smashing and boinking countless and waves of enemies while my meter of combos stacks up and up and up, while I get to use these special kind of abilities to unleash fire and demise upon my enemies. Now, this game was actually already announced, but we did got some pretty juicy and nice info in here. Now, for example, we got some more gameplay, which I am really digging what they are doing in here. You see, in this kind of Warriors games, the core of the game has always been, like I mentioned before, going through waves and waves of enemies, stacking up combos, unleashing special abilities to progress through the levels. And the graphic department has never been like a huge stock up on these games. In here it looks pretty close to what we see in Breath of the Wild, which is something beautiful. It resembles the core of the Breath of the Wild graphic, artistic style design of the game pretty accurately. Now, on the gameplay, we do get like the same smashiness. You will be able to play as the different champions. This thing is taking place before the events of the Breath of the Wild, when they were preparing for the Calamity and all that crazy. Well, pretty much when it was happening, when it already was happening, you will be able to play as the different champions, and also they did announce Impact to be one of the playable characters. Now on the gameplay, like when you fight lieutenants or captains in the Warriors kind of games formula, they always have been like standing around waiting to be destroyed by you. But in here, something that really surprises me and something that I was so pleased to see, I'm really digging this. They are going for a light attack and heavy attack kind of formula with the slog system, and the enemy AI for the captains, at least there it is a little bit more grounded than before. There is quite a whole lot to see. The gameplay seems to be more dynamic and responsive compared to other Warriors titles. Now, if you own a Zelda Breath of the Wild save on your console, Link will receive a special wooden training sword. They have said that 15 different retail chains in Japan will offer 15 different exclusive bonus items to customers who buy the game at retail and physical version, not on download code, and most of this will be like games covers, art on postcard, cloth, clear file or magnet. But a few exceptions include cloth images of Mipha, Link, a poster of Link, Zelda, and calendar featuring Link, Zelda, all of the 4 champions, and the game's cover art. So yeah, that's what we have. on Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Moving on, we have a huge load of details and info on Monster Hunter Rise. Now this Capcom's IP, like Monster Hunter World, did brought up to a more eyes to the game in the Western market, at least with Iceborne and with World. And there are some huge changes in here, like it always happens. Now, some of the game additions in here that we have is the wire bug that allows you to traverse more easily and also be able to use it on combat to counter attack enemies. But the most exciting part that I thought about this thing is that you can traverse a whole lot of places more easily with this thing, with this wire bug. Also, we do have the new companion other than the Palico, which is the Palamute, which is companion that you can ride to traverse more easily throughout the map. And one of the most greatest gaming additions that I just were so delighted to what we were seeing in this is the verticality that the game has. Now you can climb up mountains, and along with this wire bug there is a whole lot of places that you can reach. You can pretty much go and traverse wherever you take a look in the map. And I'm interested in to see what kind of things can we achieve with this. You know, imagine this situation where a monster is chasing after you, and I don't know, this is just merely a thought, but imagine with this kind of verticality, will the monsters be able to hunt you down while you, like, let's say you have to resupply some stuff and you need to get out of combat and the monster's chasing you. Imagine you say, hey, let's just climb this thing, and he won't be able to follow me. Will he be able to follow you? Will he be able to throw you down by somehow or something? There's a whole lot of things that we do got in here. Now, like I said, you can use the wire bug to fight off the monsters. You can make counters like parry, kind of. When they attack you, you use your wire bug in one precise moment, and you will counter attack and go through the attack animation of the monster. But yeah, although that Monster Hunter Rise was already announced, we did got some sweet gameplay on the Tokyo Game Shows. Monster Hunter Rise will be released for Nintendo Switch on March 26 in 2021. Then we got some gameplay for Nier 1.22444871339, which is releasing for PS4, Xbox One and PC on April 23rd in 2021. And you see, I was one of those blessed souls that happened to enjoy the game, the Western version of the game, back in 2010. And I was just so amazed at how good the game was, but I was always wondering, why did it not got the attention? Because, like, you can argue that the graphics weren't the best out there, and compared to other games of the time, the combat was not the best also, but the story, dude, the soundtrack, they have always been performed exceedingly well in this department. Now, if you play Nier Automata, you can be pretty sure that half of this game you will be quite sad. But you will be a happy sad person, if that makes sense to you, listening to this beautiful audio. And something that we have to take in consideration, something that I would like to point out, is that they are not calling, the developers, they are not calling this game to be like a full remake nor a remaster, but they called it to be like an upgrade. And you can downright see that it just looks so beautiful. It just looks so nice, grounded, the environments, the lighting. Now in this release we will be playing like the Japanese version, which did feature a more young Nier, which was Yona's brother, different from what we played in the Western back in 2010, where he was a little bit more older and he was Yona's father. And if you happen to come by a person that tells you that they understand the arc story of this game, they're downright lying, alright? This is some kind of weird shit that not even Kojima dares to venture in. Like, you have to take in consideration Shadow of the Colossus, Dragon Sang, Nier, and a whole bunch of titles that make a whole... It's a beautiful story, but it's quite complicated. At least I'm not smart enough to understand it. I've tried. Now, on the combat department, you can downright see that they are quite of emulating the beautiful, beautiful combat system that we have in Nier Automata. Now, like I mentioned before, it will be releasing in Xbox One and in PS4, Xbox One and PC via Steam on April 23rd in 2021. We also got Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, which we know that will be getting a playable demo on mid-October. Now, some gameplay was also shown off with Hasama and the special guest for Kazumi Hashigawa, a member of the esports team, G-Star Gaming, playing throughout the game's co-op mode. This game is like a departure from the series, swapping out the usual like RPG elements for a more rhythm action game. In Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, you will be able to go through 140 songs for across the various Kingdom Hearts entries, and you will control teams of 3 characters as they traverse through each world by pressing the correct button in rhythm to the music. Imagine Guitar Hero going JRPG, how amazing, how just dream come true, man. Now, Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory releases on November 13 for PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. Now, moving on, we got Scarlet Nexus, some gameplay for this, and when I first saw Scarlet Nexus, it struck to me like this, at least me personally, like this blend between Code Vein, some of the Tales games, and combat similar to what we see in Nier Automata. Now, in this game you will be having a party of team members. You won't be able to customize them as much as we can customize party characters in other RPGs, but you will be able to learn about their story and the lore and what they take part into the game, and you will also be able to use their skills and abilities by using telekinesis with the main character, which is Yuito Sumeragi, and we also got a new protagonist. Before we only knew about Yuito Sumeragi, which I'm pretty sure that I'm pronouncing that bad. Please forgive me for mothering all of these names, but we got a new protagonist, Kasane Randall, which was previously announced but not by name. And in this like Tokyo Game Show, they reveal that she will be a playable in addition to Sumeragi, like being a main character. She's a cool and rational, somewhat aloof character, and lead with exceptional fighting skills alongside with her special powers, but with questions about her mysterious visions. Now, rather, you will not be able to control both protagonists in one playthrough, but you will be able to choose between Sumeragi and Randall to experience the same story but from different point of views. And they say that more details will be revealed about this later. Scarlet Nexus will be revealed in Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS5, PS4 and Steam. We don't have yet a release date for that. But I mean, I'm looking forward for this game. It looks really amazing. I'm just digging so much about what we see in this. But that's all. I mean, there were some other things showcased like Resident Evil and DLC for Devil May Cry, being Virgil as well. But I think that those are the most interesting news and announcements all packed in one video regarding to RPG lovers and the JRPG people that likes to see this kind of news. If you like the content, let me know in the comments below what you think about these games, what are the most promising ones in your opinion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this stuff, because we will be having a whole lot more coming your way. With that being said, I'll see you beautiful gamers. Don't you ever forget that. That's such hugely important, that each and every single one of you are beautiful people. With that being said, I'll see you beautiful gamers in the next one. Remember to stay safe in the perilous world of the COVID that we live in today. Stay beautiful, stay awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.